God says, "My child, listen very carefully. This moment is not ordinary. Archangel Michael has broken ranks to reach you with urgency. It's not just a message, it's a spiritual emergency. A private detective has been tracking the footprints of something buried so deeply in your timeline that it was meant never to be discovered. But the light of heaven has now exposed it. And that investigator, divinely guided, has found you. He did not come for money. He did not come for fame. He came because heaven whispered your name into his soul. You have felt the weight of confusion in your spirit lately, haven't you? You've been sensing something is off, as if there's an unseen presence circling around you, watching you, following your path silently. That was no imagination. You are not crazy. God confirms, you have been under surveillance, not by man alone, but by spiritual forces assigned to either bless or bind you. And now, the one appointed by heaven to bring you clarity has finally discovered the truth. A truth so powerful, if revealed too late, could cause a delay in your divine destiny. That's why this message has been marked, emergency. The detective, led by holy fire, discovered something no one else dared to look for. Documents were hidden. Letters were burned. Conversations were deleted. Someone close to you paid a high price to cover it up. But nothing escapes the sight of God. Heaven sent wind to scatter the ashes of those secrets and bring the scent of truth into the nostrils of the righteous. Michael says, you must be very careful now, because what is being uncovered involves your name, your birthright, and a transfer of wealth that someone tried to steal. This isn't just about money, child. This is about restoration. The enemy knew if you found out the truth, you would be unstoppable. The plans God wrote for you were so divine, so majestic, so multidimensional, that the enemy plotted decades ago to remove you from your path. Archangel Michael fought battles you didn't even see, against demons who tried to rewrite your story. But God preserved you. He marked you. He ensured this message would reach you, because the time of revelation is now. The detective found a journal, wrapped in red cloth, buried beneath a collapsed property once owned by your bloodline. In that journal were names, details, pictures, proof. Someone had forged your identity long ago. They used your blessings for themselves. They smiled in your face while siphoning your inheritance behind your back. They said they loved you, but they used you. They said they supported you, but they lied to the court about you. But now, it's all coming to light. Michael says the clock has started ticking. And if you open your spirit to this divine message now, you will unlock something that was locked for over 20 years. The private detective is not just a man. He's an instrument of God. When he began his investigation, he didn't even know your name. But God planted dreams in his sleep. Faces began to appear. Yours was one of them. The detective traveled far, through cities, mountains, archives, and remote towns, until finally, he found a place where your name had been scratched out of legal documents. That's when he knew, something sacred had been stolen from you. Michael weeps for how long you've suffered in silence. He cries not in sorrow, but in divine frustration, for you kept thinking this was normal. You kept assuming life would always be filled with delay, heartbreak, betrayal. But God never wrote suffering into your permanent story. It was an attack. A spiritual theft. And now, heaven demands justice. That's why God is calling you to read this not once, but with your soul, again and again. Because as you absorb these words, chains are breaking. Invisible barriers are dissolving. The walls that others built around your blessings are collapsing. And the moment you believe, truly believe, what heaven is saying, the angelic armies will go forward to finish the divine retaliation. Let me now tell you what the detective discovered. A woman with access to your personal details forged a connection with a wealthy businessman. She told him lies about you. She said you were unfit to receive the inheritance. She even presented false medical documents, painting you as unstable or unreliable. That woman, someone from your own family, stood in front of officials and swore on oath to keep you out. But God recorded everything. Nothing is hidden in the court of heaven. Do you remember the strange feelings you had last year? The dreams? The recurring visions? That wasn't coincidence. It was God trying to reach you. But someone was praying against your clarity. Someone was using spiritual manipulation to blind you. That's why it felt like you were always walking in circles. But Archangel Michael stepped in. He used the detective as a key to unlock what others tried to bury. This isn't just a discovery, it's the unlocking of a generational curse. You were meant to be the one who breaks the chain. That's why you faced more hardship than your siblings. That's why betrayal hit you harder. You were chosen for restoration. But the enemy hoped if he could discourage you long enough, you'd give up. He didn't count on this moment. He didn't expect this message to find you. Someone has been impersonating you. In the spirit realm, they've taken your name to altars. They spoke curses pretending to be you. But God is not mocked. Heaven is not fooled. A divine scan has been completed, and your spiritual fingerprint has been re-verified. You are now reactivated in the heavens. And Michael says, the power of return is being granted. Prepare yourself. In the next 72 hours, a strange sign will occur. You might receive a strange call. A message from someone from the past. A document will come into your possession. It may look random, but it's the first thread in the unraveling of this mystery. Do not ignore it. It is part of the divine strategy. The detective has already filed a private report. Someone is going to confront you. But don't panic. It will not harm you. In fact, it will help you. Heaven is orchestrating this. You were almost erased. But now, you will be restored. You were almost disqualified. But now, you will be vindicated. You were almost silenced. But now, you will speak. And when you do, angels will echo your voice. Your words will carry heavenly weight. The enemy will tremble. The woman who plotted against you will be exposed. God will cause her own words to turn against her. And everything she tried to take will be multiplied and returned to you. This is not revenge. This is divine alignment. You are not being blessed because you begged. You are being restored because you were chosen. Even in your brokenness, heaven kept you covered. Even when you thought God was silent, Michael stood over your bed and whispered courage into your soul. That's why you didn't die. That's why you're still standing. Let me tell you something deeper. The inheritance being discussed is not just money. It's legacy. There is a prophetic gift within you that has been dormant. It was hidden during your childhood. Someone tried to scare it out of you. But the same detective who uncovered your earthly truth has also been given insight into your spiritual calling. The day you were born, the enemy marked you as dangerous. Because your voice carries deliverance. Your presence brings divine interruption. That's why your relationships have often been attacked. People try to confuse you, devalue you, or exhaust you. But no more. Michael declares, as of this moment, heaven has issued a reversal. Every plot made against you is collapsing. The people who spoke against your name will fall into silence. They will witness your elevation but will not be able to stop it. The woman who tried to intercept your destiny will be exposed in front of the very people she manipulated. God says, "She used darkness, but I will use light." Don't be afraid of this exposure. You were made for it. You were born for such a time as this. That's why your life didn't make sense before, because it wasn't meant to until this very moment. You have entered the hour of your unveiling. The private detective is now handing over the final report. The angel of exposure stands ready. The courtroom of heaven has opened your case. The judgment is being written. You will be restored sevenfold. But you must obey now. You must believe that this is for you. You must stop underestimating your value. You must stop excusing people's abuse of your kindness. You must understand, you were the hidden treasure all along. Heaven saw you when no one else did. And now, the earth will see too. Open your eyes, child. The message has found you. The detective has arrived. The woman's time is up. Archangel Michael has spoken. It is done. The war is over. The revelation has begun. You are safe. You are found. You are chosen. Let it all begin. Now. In the night, stirred by a force you didn't consciously recognize. That deep feeling in your chest, the strange pulse that rose and faded like waves, was your spirit responding to the energy left behind. God says, your soul knows her. Not in this lifetime, but long before. In the realm before birth. She was part of a contract, a vow made in a moment of sacred trust, and now she has returned, not to speak, not to disrupt, but to deliver what she was assigned long ago. Michael stood in the shadows when she came. He didn't stop her, because she was not the enemy. She was the reminder. The test. The warning and the whisper. What she left behind was not meant to be found with your eyes. It must be felt, prayed through, and discerned in the deepest chamber of your heart. She placed it carefully, wrapped in divine timing. And now, you're standing at the edge of that timing. You are about to uncover something that will not just change your life, but shift the direction of your entire bloodline. God says, pay attention to everything today. The way people look at you, the sudden flickers in your memory, the objects in your house that seem oddly positioned, the dreams you had over the past week, these are not coincidences. The silence she carried is starting to crack open, and within that silence is a truth you were never supposed to forget. You only buried it because the world taught you to forget who you really are. But she remembers. That's why she returned. Archangel Michael is pleading with you now, don't ignore this. Don't brush this off as some poetic illusion. This is not a tale. This is your moment. The sound of her presence still echoes faintly in your space. That corner of the room that feels colder? That hallway you instinctively avoid today? That chill on the back of your neck that comes and goes? That's the residue of what she left. She is gone, but the imprint remains. You have time, but not much. This is the 18th of July, and heaven has synchronized something around you, something only obedience can activate. There is a reason you've been feeling as though something is about to happen, because it already has. You are living in the aftershock of a divine visit. The consequences of ignoring this message would ripple into your future in painful ways. Archangel Michael says this is not a suggestion. It is a divine alert. She was a silent witness to something that's been hidden from you for years, something you should have known, but someone made sure you didn't. God says someone very close to you made a choice years ago that altered your path. They weren't supposed to lie to you. They weren't supposed to take what they took. But they did. And the silent woman at your door last night was sent to begin the process of truth returning. What she left is a spiritual key, but it only works if you're willing to confront the buried past. The past you never gave yourself permission to fully grieve. The betrayal you sensed but didn't know how to prove. The gift you lost, not by chance, but by design. And the person who orchestrated this, God says you already suspect them. You've tried to silence that suspicion because you didn't want it to be true. But God doesn't whisper to you in confusion. That quiet, recurring feeling you've had about them, that unsettling moment when they avoid your gaze when a certain topic comes up, that's not your imagination. That's the Holy Spirit sounding the alarm. Michael says the woman at the door didn't speak because the truth is not new, it's ancient. Her silence was a mirror of yours. She came so you would break your silence. So you would open your mouth in prayer. So you would stop agreeing to the lies you've been told about who you are, what you deserve, and where your future is going. She came to awaken something deep in your ancestry. Something someone swore you'd never find out. God says this message is sacred. And it's dangerous to the people who wanted you to stay asleep. That's why the enemy will try to distract you today. Small things will go wrong. Misunderstandings will show up. Your phone might glitch, someone may irritate you, confusion might try to fog your thoughts, but if you stay in prayer, you will see clearly. The spiritual veil is thin today. thinner than it's been all year. And your angels are moving fast. Faster than the plans of those who tried to delay your destiny. There's more. What she left was connected to a promise made to you, but taken by someone else. Not a physical object, but a spiritual inheritance. You were meant to walk in abundance. To have access. To be chosen for something great. But years ago, someone redirected that flow. It was done through manipulation. It looked like a blessing on the outside, but it was deception dressed in kindness. God says the one who took it prospered, but only temporarily. Their success was built on your delay. But heaven has declared, enough. Michael says the sword of truth has been released. You may feel emotions today you can't explain, random grief, unexpected memories, moments of anger or confusion. Don't be afraid. These are not breakdowns. They are breakthroughs. The silence she carried is unraveling, and what's coming will require your full courage. You are going to hear something shocking before the week ends. And it will confirm everything this message is preparing you for. You are not losing your mind. You are gaining clarity. That restless feeling isn't fear, it's recognition. Your soul remembers this moment from long ago. A divine appointment. A second chance. A timeline that was never supposed to be corrupted. The enemy is terrified right now, because you've come to the edge of a truth that will make you unstoppable. The moment you accept it, you break free from every invisible rope that has tied your spirit down. Michael says you are being watched right now, not in fear, but in expectation. Heaven is watching your next move. The angels are holding their breath. What you choose to believe today will unlock doors. Do not run to people for validation. Do not seek confirmation from the ones who have consistently doubted your spiritual journey. Go to God directly. Go to Michael in prayer. Ask for vision. Ask for protection. Ask for revelation, and it will come. You must prepare now. Within 24 hours, there will be a shift. And within 3 days, something that was buried will be revealed. In a phone call. In a slip of the tongue. In a dream. In a memory. The piece of the puzzle you've been missing will fall right in front of you, and you will finally understand what she came to return. And when you do, everything changes. The woman who came was not just a spiritual figure. She represents an entire movement of angels and ancestors rising to fight for your restoration. She is the echo of a mother who prayed for you. She is the shadow of the protector you never knew you had. She is the silent scream of the truth the enemy feared would reach your ears. And now it has. What will you do with it? Michael says, do not delay. Speak aloud the words that come to you in prayer. Your voice carries power today. The very vibration of your prayer will activate what was left. A silent key turning in an invisible lock. Once it turns, no man can shut the door God is about to open. But you must be the one to turn it. No one can do it for you. Not a pastor. Not a prophet. Not a friend. Only you. God says, you were not abandoned. You were hidden. Hidden for protection. Hidden because the truth wasn't safe until now. But now the appointed time has come. The appointed person has come. The appointed message has arrived. What happens next will not be like anything you've seen before. Divine acceleration is at your feet. And the next 18 days will hold more spiritual activity than the past 18 months. Stay alert. Stay in prayer. Fast if you feel led. Avoid unnecessary arguments. Protect your spiritual atmosphere. Clean your space. Light a candle in honor of truth. Let the air shift around you. Let your angels move. Let God's justice flow. Because it is already happening. And when you feel the air change, when you sense something stirring near your front door again, don't be afraid. It is not the enemy. It is the spirit of revelation, finally returning what was always yours. The silence is breaking. And what comes next will blow open every door they tried to seal shut. God says, this is not a coincidence. It is not an accident that you are reading this message at this very moment. My child, open your heart and soul, for this message was divinely timed. Archangel Michael is standing close to you, trembling with a sacred urgency. His wings are stretched wide, his sword glows with divine light, and he is weeping, not with fear, but with the gravity of what has just been uncovered. A private detective, unknown to you, guided by heavenly prompting, has tracked you down. They were not looking for you by mistake. They were led by something much greater than human logic. This is not just a message. This is a rescue. This is an intervention from heaven itself. The private detective was hired by someone who thought they could bury the truth forever. But I, the Lord your God, say this: no truth can be buried when I decide to reveal it. This person was investigating someone else, someone from your past, someone you trusted, someone who wore a mask so perfectly that not even your intuition could pierce it completely. But heaven has eyes. And my justice never sleeps. The detective, while following leads about someone else, accidentally stumbled upon something connected to you. At first, they thought it was unrelated. But the further they dug, the more your name came up. Photos. Documents. A hidden journal. Surveillance clips. My child, your life has been intertwined with a secret so deep that the enemy hoped it would never come to light. But I am the God of light. I bring all things hidden into the open. When the detective realized the magnitude of what they had found, they didn't know what to do. But then, a dream came. They saw Archangel Michael in radiant armor, holding a sealed letter and pointing at your name. The detective woke up in sweat. They don't even believe in angels, but this shook them. That same day, everything started accelerating. They were blocked from logging into their own investigation files. Their phone was tapped. Their car followed. My child, you don't understand how important you are in the spiritual realm. You are not just someone walking this earth aimlessly. You carry divine assignments. That's why forces are trying to silence the truth. That's why someone paid heavy money to keep this revelation from you. But nothing, I repeat, nothing can stop what I am about to expose. Archangel Michael says, it's an emergency. You have less time than you think. Someone you've loved deeply, someone whose presence in your life seemed like a blessing, has been carefully orchestrating a plan around you. It's not to harm you directly, but to use you. You were the key to unlocking something they desperately wanted, a legacy, a name, an inheritance, or a reputation. For a while, they genuinely cared. But then something changed. They discovered that you were more powerful than you looked. That you were not just a regular person. That you had spiritual backing. That divine favor followed you. That's when the plan shifted from love to manipulation. But God says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. When this person realized you were not going to give up your light, they contacted someone. That's when the private detective was hired. But what they didn't expect was that the very detective would become loyal to you. My child, are you seeing how I work? The very trap they set became a revelation tool. Because you are chosen. Because you are under the protection of divine forces. Because I have ordained this season as the time of unveiling. You may be wondering, what is it that they were hiding? You need to know that there are two truths. One is about your destiny, and the other is about your past. The first truth is this: you were meant to be known, celebrated, and elevated, not for ego, but because your life carries answers for others. There is a spiritual legacy inside you. A voice. A calling. An impact. But the enemy tried to entangle you with people whose sole purpose was to delay you. Some of them looked romantic. Some of them were friends. Some of them pretended to be mentors. But the private detective, through divine accident, found messages between two people who were discussing how to keep you dependent, how to trigger your doubts, how to discourage your dreams. And the second truth, there was a woman. Years ago. Someone from your bloodline, possibly family. She made a secret agreement. She signed something behind your back. That contract gave another person rights to something that belongs to you, either a property, a trust, or an inheritance. They buried the paper trail. But the detective found a receipt that wasn't supposed to exist. And that receipt is what cracked the whole thing open. God says, you are about to receive undeniable proof that someone you loved has been both protecting you and hiding something from you. The proof is coming faster than you can imagine. Michael says again, open your spirit immediately. This cannot wait. Even as you're reading this, I have already begun moving things in the unseen realm. People are feeling uncomfortable. Some are trying to erase records. Others are panicking. But don't worry. Every file, every email, every message is safe in my hands now. I have already instructed angels to guard the evidence. You are not going to lose what's coming to you. You are not going to miss your divine timing. I am placing people in your path now, people who will speak things you didn't know they knew, who will confirm your suspicions, who will help bring closure to the pain you carried quietly. You've spent seasons questioning your worth. Nights wondering if you were imagining things. Days praying for clarity. That prayer has been answered. I, the Lord your God, am revealing the missing piece. Do not contact the people who hurt you. Do not go back to explain your value to them. I am removing your need for validation. I am setting you apart. I am covering you in ways that will shock those who tried to bury you. I am going to show the world that I was always with you, even when you didn't feel it. Especially then. And to the one reading this with tears in their eyes, wondering if this message is really for them, yes, it is. That strange dream you had 2 nights ago? That wasn't random. The name you keep hearing again and again in your spirit? That's not paranoia. The sudden distance from people you once thought were forever? That's my protection. I removed them before the storm came, so you would survive it. Michael is still speaking. This is your moment of awakening. This is not a normal day. Something is being unlocked. Something is being returned. You must be ready. The next 3 days are sacred. Protect your energy. Don't overshare. Don't announce your moves. Stay in prayer. I am sending confirmation in the form of a phone call, a message, or an encounter. When it comes, you'll know. Your heart will burn. Your spirit will say, "This is it." I have instructed the heavens to fast-track your restoration. I have instructed the angels to begin aligning things you thought were broken beyond repair. I have commanded the gates that were shut in your face to open wide. But you must remain faithful. Don't try to control the process. I know what I'm doing. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I saw this attack before it was planned. I allowed it only because it would reveal the snake hiding in the garden. Now that it has been exposed, you are free to flourish again. Your delay was never denial. It was divine preparation. So breathe, my child. I am with you. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. The detective is about to make contact. The message may come in an unusual way. It might be coded. It might seem insignificant. But don't ignore it. Don't delete it. Read between the lines. Michael will help you discern. You are not crazy. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are on the edge of breakthrough. Every curse is breaking. Every lie is crumbling. Every betrayal is being reversed. And every tear you cried in secret is becoming a seed of testimony. Watch what I do in the next 72 hours. This isn't just restoration. This is vindication. You will not have to prove yourself. I will do it for you. I will speak through others. I will put your name in rooms where your feet haven't stepped yet. And those who mocked you will have no choice but to watch as I prepare a table before you in their presence. Because you are mine. Because I love you. Because I saw you when no one else did. And now, I will raise you up like a banner, and show the world, this is my beloved child, and I do not let my children fall. Prepare, my child. It has already begun. And nothing will stop it now. Amen. The heavens are already moving. The wind has changed direction in the spirit realm, and Archangel Michael has already sounded the trumpet to alert every force in the divine army assigned to your protection. The moment you began reading this message, the scroll of your destiny was unsealed again in the heavenly court. Your name was spoken in the halls of divine justice, not in judgment, but in restoration. Not in shame, but in glory. For every moment you sat in silence, misunderstood, blamed, or ignored, I, your God, was keeping record. And I say to you now, nothing was wasted. There were moments you doubted yourself. Moments when your intuition screamed that something was off, but the people around you made you feel guilty for feeling it. The manipulator in your life, the one who wore gentleness like a costume, was planting doubt in your soul on purpose. They didn't just lie with words. They lied with their actions, with silence, with carefully timed kindness to keep you unsure of yourself. But now, my light has pierced through every manipulation. The mask has fallen. And Archangel Michael is holding the heavenly mirror in front of you now, not to shame you, but to show you how powerful and beautiful you've always been. The private detective was not meant to find you. They were meant to find them. But I redirected their steps. I confused the GPS. I delayed the email. I whispered in their spirit while they slept. And they obeyed. They followed the thread. They followed the timeline. And what they found, my child, it is bigger than even you can imagine right now. They found a name you weren't supposed to know. A signature on a document they were never meant to see. An image that proves someone in your circle isn't just hiding something, they're hiding everything. I have seen it all. I watched it play out while you cried at night wondering why your life felt stuck. You were never stuck, you were being set up for elevation. I kept you hidden while I exposed the ones who didn't deserve access to the next season of your life. The money that was withheld from you, the opportunity that passed you by, the relationship that collapsed overnight, that wasn't failure. That was my mercy. Because if you had succeeded while they were around, they would have claimed the credit. They would have twisted your story. They would have enslaved your success to their agenda. But now, I have isolated you for a purpose. And even in that isolation, I was not absent. I was protecting the blueprint. I was reactivating your spiritual gifts. And I was preparing you for this very moment. Listen closely. The person who hired the detective is frightened now. Because what was supposed to be a secret operation has now become a divine investigation. The angels are reviewing everything. The scrolls of your bloodline are open. Every curse, every injustice, every hidden transaction made without your knowledge is now being reversed. Because I said enough. Enough delay. Enough deception. Enough pain. The person hiding the truth from you is spiritually exposed. They are not only worried about being discovered, they are being spiritually haunted by conviction. They are having dreams. They are waking up in sweats. They are checking their phones constantly. They are deleting messages, but I've already archived them in the heavens. There is nowhere left for them to run. This is not revenge. This is justice. And justice does not forget. You may feel unqualified. You may feel unworthy. But my child, you are the exact one I have chosen for this unveiling. You carry the blood of kings and queens in your spiritual DNA. You have cried enough. You have proven your heart. And now I will show the world the crown that has always been invisible to their eyes. In the next few days, someone from your past will reach out. Don't panic. Don't act from emotion. Let me guide you. Not everyone returning is an enemy, but not all of them are allies either. Discernment is key. Some will come pretending to help. Some will come truly sent by me. And I will make it clear. I will send signs. Repeating numbers. A strong warmth in your chest. A dream with a clear symbol. Do not ignore these. Michael has asked me to deliver one more critical message to you. If they come back crying, don't forget what they did when you were crying. That doesn't mean you must carry hate. No. But it means you are no longer obligated to carry burdens that don't belong to you. The detective has done their job. Now it's your turn to step into the truth. There are hidden messages within things you already have. Go back and read that old letter again. Look at that email again. There's something you missed the first time, a clue. I will highlight it now. It will not be accidental. I will open your eyes. What once felt confusing will become suddenly clear. You will gasp. You will cry. And then you will smile, not because the past was easy, but because you finally see it all clearly. The power returning to you is real. The silence is breaking. The veil is lifting. You are stepping into a season where your name will be cleared, your purpose fulfilled, and your pain turned into prophecy. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time, my time. Let no man deceive you again. Let no woman distract you. Let no familiar voice from your past guilt you into shrinking. I have created you for greatness, and I will not allow small minds or deceptive spirits to limit you any longer. You have made it through the hardest chapters. And now, the miracle begins. This is your moment. This is your divine appointment. This is why the enemy tried so hard to keep you confused, exhausted, and isolated. Because he knew, once you saw the truth, you'd be unstoppable. Archangel Michael stands with you. I stand with you. The truth is already unfolding. And the next 3 days will change everything. Stay alert. Stay grounded. Stay faithful. Because the detective's message is just the beginning. Amen. And so it is. You believe in God, type Amen.